It's Week 14 of the NFL, and the spotlight is on Nick Chubb. He had a great week to build off of last time out, reaching triple digits and adding 2 touchdowns. It's the Browns and the Jaguars. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
From just off the shores of Lake Erie, EA Sports brings you coverage of the NFL from Cleveland Browns Stadium in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Today it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Well, the Jaguars ready to go on offense for the first time, and they're led by the former #1 pick in the draft in his 3rd season now, Charles, Trevor Lawrence.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Now ETN to start the drive. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. The toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We've got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. Going for it, here's ETN. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. ETN once more. And this will be a Jaguars 1st down as good running gets them to about the 44.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. ETN up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On 2nd down, a run with ETN. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. We can look at this Browns defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
They forced 7 turnovers. 7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
And he is caught. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on third down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. On play action, Lawrence. Dancing to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now Lawrence to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
On third down, Lawrence. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Browns D locked in on third down, brings up 4th.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
The kick by McManus is good, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now, the Cleveland offense ready to go to work behind the 3-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Watson in his 2nd season now as a Brown, number 7 overall.
And I like his honesty because when we sat down with him, I mean, he was the first one to say that was on me last week, a really poor performance. Way too many interceptions, didn't find the end zone throwing the ball, put his defense and his special teams in some real jeopardy, but somehow they won the game. Yeah, what I loved about is when he told us about the defense kind of corralling him in the locker room and said, all right, my man, we're not going to do that again this week, are we?
Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there. To throw is Watson. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They need 2. Here's third down. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. And again, it's Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Now Watson. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. right is Chubb. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Pass complete from Watson to Akins. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screen play is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. From the red zone now, Watson. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Jaguars are going to get the football back at their own 17. They'll start on the ground. ETN. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Lawrence will throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Lawrence finding Kirk there for the Jaguar 1st.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now Lawrence on 1st down. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. After the interception, here's Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Oh, and that is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their 1st timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Travis Etienne of the Jags offense set to take over again here. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
First down, Jacksonville.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And that's going to be incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. And he'll be out of bounds Browns, but able to get it up past the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. This ball caught by Strange. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
The kick by McManus is good, and they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you know.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Out of the gun, Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Jags are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
From midfield now, Lawrence looking downfield for Jones. And he's got it inside the 10. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Jaguars will extend their lead here just before halftime. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland, and to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going. I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it in, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Watson, option left. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that cuts this lead down to 13.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed out hard there. He was ready for that running play. From the gun on third down, Lawrence. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taken in at the 22. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll try the air now with Watson.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Rayshon Jenkins picks it off. And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. Taken down at the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. A handoff for Etienne. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A credit the tackle to Juan Thornhill. Now a 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 at the Browns 16-yard line.
Another tote for Etienne. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Here's Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Christian Kirk, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Watson on 1st down. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st down, Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. To the air yet again, Watson. Looking for and finding Amari Cooper again. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper with career touchdown number 60. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. York now for the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Lawrence. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And how about this, a fake? And this is caught. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
That one looks like he'll throw here. His throw incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum the other side is starting to gain.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned